Good afternoon. Thank you so much for attending today's summit. As I mentioned this morning, we encourage you to use what you have learned today and set the stage to create a supportive and inclusive environment for all. I would like to welcome Tracy Glorioso back to close the summit. Tracy?
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you again for everyone for joining for today's sessions. As Carrie said, I'm Tracy Glorioso. I'm the Business Optimization Leader at Manpower Group. I'm also the new incoming chair for disability in Wisconsin. Again, I'd like to thank American Family for hosting this year's event. And I'd also like to thank all the sponsors. Before I get into my discussion, I just also want to thank Derek Smith, who's been our chair for disability in Wisconsin since the inception of disability. And without Derek's leadership and his drive, and essentially his leadership, I think we would be in a completely different place with disability in Wisconsin. Derek's leadership, as well as the leadership of our existing board, has helped us make this a success and the success of this year. As incoming chair, I want to talk a little bit about a few comments focused around, why I accepted the incoming board chair position on behalf of Manpower Group. As business leaders, employers, parents, family members, as it pertains to understanding the responsibility of how we look at individuals with disabilities and our focus going forward. As an individual with a disability that has struggled throughout the years, I never saw myself with a disability before. I was never an individual that checked the box previously as it pertains to my employment. I was always concerned with what that would mean for my next role if I wouldn't be seen as a leader in an organization. And I just chose not to check the box. I've had a speech impediment my entire life. And for some reason, I never saw that as a disability for myself. And I think that's something to be said with majority of disabilities are invisible. And sometimes we forget that as individuals, as business leaders. And disabilities is that one dimension of diversity that truly doesn't discriminate. You may not have a disability today and you may have one tomorrow. And you could be in a similar situation that I was in this year. I was making Easter dinner with my family and all of a sudden I toppled over with knives in my hand next to my children. And all of a sudden I have epilepsy. And this was something that was completely new to me and it was something I completely wasn't expected. And as I was diagnosed with this, it was new. And even though I had something else all my life that I never considered a disadvantage for myself because I figured out how to deal with it, all of a sudden I had something else now that I had to deal with that I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide it from individuals because it was something that was out there. And it was in front of other people. And all of a sudden now I had to change what I was doing as it pertains to my work and my personal life. And I think it's really important for us as business leaders and as family members and as individuals in society is what are we doing to educate ourselves, our employees? And as I look back at Disability In and what we've done the last 3 years and what we're about to do as an affiliate and for our members, I am really excited. I'm really excited about what's yet to come. And that's essentially why I want to continue to stay involved with Disability In. That's why I'm heavily involved in our diversity space within Manpower Group. That's what energizes me. Like I said, the dimensions of diversity is so unlimited. And with the disability space, it's the one piece that I think we as leaders within our organizations, we can truly help educate our businesses a little bit better. Earlier today, if anyone listens to the award ceremony, I had briefly spoke about I'm traveling this week for work and I had asked for an accommodation at my travel location to do our speaking events. And it was really challenging to get an accommodation. And it was a real big struggle to get an accommodation for some of the personal needs I have with my epilepsy. I have short-term memory loss and I have to be very specific in a few things. And I had asked for accommodation and it was extremely challenging to get some of those needs met. And these are some things that we struggle with. So again, one of the things that I'm going to ask for our businesses as we think about how we look at our clients, how we look at our customers, how we look at our employees is how can we be better as organizations, and how can we supply that training and that awareness and those education tools. And so one thing that we want to do, we want to commit as Disability in Wisconsin, we want to commit that to you. So I thank everybody that has spent time with us today. I thank all of our presenters that have taken the time to provide their knowledge and learnings to everybody. And I'm looking forward to what Disability in Wisconsin has next for us. And for all of you, and we look forward to the next. So again, thank you to everybody. Thank you again to American Family Insurance for hosting for us today, and we will see everyone very soon. Thank you.